Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Hopefully you are doing well. We are back with our round 20 review of the AFL fantasy season and our fantasy team. Hopefully you've had a good round. That is not my round 20 team. That is my round 21 team. That is my round 20 team. That is my score, 25-24, with a round rank of 675 and an overall rank of 1520. If you think we can get into the top 1,000 on the season, make sure you smash a thumbs up on the video. You can see my team on screen. I don't think you need me to talk through every single player. Nasiah Wanganeen-Miller is my fantasy superstar. 147, 4 goals against Melbourne in that incredible comeback victory for the Saints. What more is there to say? He is my favourite fantasy asset so far this season. I've loved owning him. The whole defence went crazy. We're a Callum Mills, +6 away from hitting those hundreds across the board. Even in defence on the looping side of things, Angus Hasty, 47. Jed Bustlinger with a 63. The cash gen is going in the right direction. Jack Sinclair is looking incredible since Nasiah Wanganeen-Miller has gone into the midfield. And look at this run that the Saints boys get as well. They go into North, Richmond, Essendon for the next 3 weeks. So having both of those boys is absolutely fantastic. Lockie Whitfield as well, since that concussion's gone 120 and then back-to-back 109s with minimum 8 marks in all of those games as well, which is absolutely incredible. Has a bit of a harder run with the Doggies, but then he gets the Kangaroos, the Suns, and the Saints to finish off with. So very, very happy with him. Colby, bit more responsibility on Colby, which is going to reflect back on our trade targets for this week in the defence there. 6 marks, which is really good to see. You can see when he got that 124 against the Bulldogs, that included 9 marks. So if we can see 6 as a baseline for Colby, I think 100 could be his new floor, which would be very, very nice. Moving into the midfield, Nicky Dacos, Marcus Bontempelli, both going 146, but doing it different ways. Bont, 2 goals, 2 and 35 touches with 10 marks. Nick Dacos went for 42 touches and 3 goals, but nevertheless, they are some absolutely crazy scores. Then we've got an Andy Brayshaw, one of probably two or three really disappointing scores. I just think they were just so much more dominant than West Coast in this game. 75% time on ground, spent quite a bit of time in the last quarter on the bench as well. But again, he is a premium. 1 mark, 2 tackles is not what we expect to see from an Andy Brayshaw. Jordan Dawson, 106 in the wet is fine. Errol Goulden, 98. Again, I would have loved a bit more from him on Friday night, but Josh Dunkley was a trade in for us this week for Adam Chera, and he saved it big time. He's gone and got double-digit tackles again. He's done it 4 of the last 5 games, and that is what's going to save his scores moving forward. Zachy Butters, in, again, the same as Jordan Dawson, in terrible conditions. He played 93% time on ground, which is absolutely brilliant from a Zach Butters, and then Tom McCarthy with an 82. Just ticking along quite nicely. Has a break even of 49 now and has probably made his money. Ruckline, I think we've got the 1-2 punch in a Max Gawn and a Brodie Grundy with the VC as well. And then our forward line, most people are complaining about their forward lines. We got a 132 from a Baz, a 101 from a Kennedy, 97, 98. 84 from Petrarca against the Saints is really, really disappointing. And he's not been a fantastic own, but he hasn't been a dreadful own. I brought him in for the Richmond game where he went 114 and then 121. Then the 92, he's sort of been around that 80 mark since I sort of brought him in. Does have 2 nice matchups before 2 hard ones, so I think he's going to be okay. But then Caleb Daniel is the man I am worried about in my side. Cash Gen on the bench. Taru's going to start going the wrong way, so we might have to look at getting off and Alex Taru very, very soon. But then Archer May got dropped. Liddy and Rowson both didn't play, which is probably good for their cash anyway because they've got high break-evens. But then the defenders have decent break-evens. Angus Hastings is 29, so he's nearing the top of his price. And Bustlinger has gone and got his down to 6, so he is going to really start to kick the cash. The moves we made was Zach Johnson out for Liam McMahon and Adam Chera for Josh Dunkley. Now, quickly, what we're looking at for this week is this is the setup. So we're hoping to roll Max Gawn into the VC against West Coast on Saturday into the late game with Brodie Grundy. But at this stage, I'm looking at going Caleb Daniel and Tom McCarthy to Jeremy Cameron and Hayden Young. The reason I'm looking at Jezza, not because he kicked 11 goals against North Melbourne, but because Port's defence is absolutely decimated, as is Essendon's, and then Richmond in round 24. I think 100 goals could be on the cards for Jezza, and if he is going to kick 100 goals this season, it means he is going to score very, very well in fantasy. And then Hayden Young is my optimistic pick. I'm not going to be able to chase rank by playing it fully safe. When I first went to bring him in, he was 0.7% owned. He's gone up 1% since Sunday. I just think if you could have told me that at some point this year, Hayden Young was going to be my M8, I would have absolutely taken that and ran. Callum Mills has Essendon this week, so I'm confident he'll have a good match this week. And then Caleb Daniel goes to St Kilda, and I want to at least keep Colby for pretty much that run home. He probably ends up staying in my team for the rest of the season. So Callum Mills is probably the next upgrade target if it's not Christian Petrarca. So Tom McCarthy, although he could easily just sit there and be a loop on my bench, I'd rather try and get those points on field, and hopefully Fremantle can absolutely beat up Carlton's midfield, and then Hayden Young could be that really aggressive option, getting more marks, better time on ground, and really taking advantage of the next two fixtures. So that's where my team is sitting at the moment. Make sure you get down in the comments. Let me know what you think of my side and where I can get an advantage heading into the last month of the season. Get your trade dilemmas down there as well, and I will see you guys very, very soon for another video.